The show all about everyday words, phrases and sayings. Let's meet tonight's teams with team captain Susan Calman. It's Phil Jupitus. And with Captain Paul Sinnott, it's the lovely Lucy Porter. We kick off with our first round entitled Osama Bin Language, where we ask our teams to nominate a word or phrase that they think is a menace to society and should be taken out. Then our highly intellectual audience of scholars will decide which one should be removed permanently. Yes, from conversation. Paul, you're up first. Which word or phrase would you like to see disappear?
I'm going to bring some politics into the debate very early on. Yeah, I'm going to go for the phrase, the silent majority. Now, I've done a bit of research for this show, knowing it's going to be filmed in Belfast. I've had a look at Northern Ireland politics, and it's quite clear that some people... What I was going to say is it's quite clear that some people have a very different opinion to other people. I am a genius like that. I've kind of worked it out. And that's fine. It should be healthy to debate with people with whom you disagree. There seems to be a very vexed debate in Northern Ireland about the issue of same-sex marriage. Now, yeah, I am biased. I am a gay man. I'm not in a relationship. I'd like to get married one day, but in the meantime, I've been travelling around Belfast ordering wedding cakes just to look a terrible in their faces. I don't mind if you disagree with the concept of same-sex marriage. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. What I don't like is when people say no and I'm speaking for the silent majority. The people who say that have never got the statistical analysis to back up the word majority, and they're never silent. If you genuinely believe that you represent the silent majority, shut the up, and then I'll say, and I might start to take you...
I have a gay daughter who's getting married, but the only problem I have with gay marriage, as the father of a gay daughter, is who pays?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm going to be honest. I think that my one's a bit less butch. So.
So yeah, I think in my marriage I am the butch one. I am 4'11" and a lady, and my husband Justin is 6'5" and a man. But he's my bitch, basically. I like football and cars, and my husband enjoys the musicals.
Sorry, what's his name?
In the bedroom, it is like a ventriloquism act that's gone to a very dark place. To be fair, it's like a... don't dwell on that. It's not...
Remind me what your husband's name is.
Oh, my word. He's just in.
Yeah.
All right. No, you don't think about that area.
This has taken a very dark turn. We go to Phil next. Which word or phrase, Phil, would you like to see in the bin of bad language?
Big boned. You get home from school, you're about 8, and you go, Mummy, the other kids call me fat. You're not fat, love, you're big boned. Of course I'm fat. Keep it real. Stop telling your kids you're not fat, you're big boned. Also, bones are not large, wobbly, blancmange-like substances. This This isn't bone. It's muscle.
So what is the correct phrase? That I'm...
Fat!
To be fair, you also have massive bones looking at you. They're not being inaccurate, are they? You're a big guy.
Paul is an ex-doctor.
That would be a great programme. The Ex-Doctor! I think there's always a sign. You know you're overweight when the doctor takes your blood pressure and runs from the room screaming, saying, "He's going to blow!"
But for women get the big bone thing as well. I remember my gym teacher, because I used to have to wear my hockey skirt undone because I wasn't the slimmest of ladies. I'll be honest. Now, looking at me now, you'd never believe it, but I wasn't the slimmest. And I used to play hockey with my skirt half undone. Those were the crazy days.
Slut.
No, because nothing.
Is it time for hockey?
You do put on weight, like when you get married. I remember a friend of mine telling me when I got married, she said, 90% of people put on at least a stone in weight during their first year of marriage. And Justin and I laughed at the time, like, oh, that'll never happen to us, darling. The first month we were married, we managed 3 stone each, which is like someone had pulled a ripcord at the altar and we just went like... there is a very simple reason why married people put on weight. I don't know if you're aware of this. It's because when you're single, you come in at night, you have a quick look at what's in the fridge, you go straight to bed. Whereas when you're married, you come in at night, have a quick look at what's in bed, go straight to the fridge. So,
Lucy, where do we go from here? What is the word or phrase that you'd like to see?
Well, now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see your big boned, Phil, and I'm going to raise you body fascism. I'm going to add sexism on top of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you mumsy. Last year at the Edinburgh Festival, I was doing a show and I was reading a review that someone had written, and it was a 5-star review, the kind we all dream of getting, where the reviewer said, "This wonderful show, amazing, superb, blah, blah, blah." Read through it, got to about halfway through, and the guy had written, "The mumsy-looking porter." I have never wiped my arse on a newspaper before, but
You missed the 5-star bit, though, didn't you? You didn't wipe your arse on the 5-star.
Oh, no, obviously, no. I cut that out first. Yes, I cut that out.
Because to be honest, if you wiped your arse with 5 stars, that'd be 6 stars.
Dictionary definition is dowdy, unfashionable, and unattractive. And you go, well, is that what being a mum makes you? Is it suddenly like you just become like a non-sexual being? Because you look at mums and you go, well, a mum, you could be talking about Angelina Jolie, you could be talking about the Queen, they're both filthy.
But it is that thing, though, when you sort of... you let yourself go. You do let yourself go a little bit, don't you? And there's that moment where you just think, you know, you've got the dad bod, and I remember just after we got married, and I realised that I was settled. And I was running down the beach, we were on holiday, and there was this girl coming the other way, and she had these little denim hot pants on and a string bikini, and she was walking her dog, and she was throwing the stick, and I did that thing where I sucked in, you know, and I was running past her, and she gave me this big smile, and I looked back at her and I went, I'd love a dog. And that's... You just like...
So here's my inputs.
Yes.
I'm not settled. I thought I was settled. I was going out with... I was batting above average, to be honest with you. And then he dumped me for the most insulting reason I could imagine. No, actually, not the most insulting reason. But he decided that he preferred women. That's a bit of a... That's a... All right, it was the most insulting reason. I take that back. That's a blow. I mean, I don't know how you...
Well, it's not a blow if he prefers women.
Yeah.
But better than that, and you know why.
No, I'm sorry, Phil.
How dare you?
It was the Gary Lineker of comedy. I was 2 yards out.
You don't have to hit it if it's teed up.
It was going in. It was going in, Phil. I just thought I wanted to go. I know.
You goal hanger.
Is MILF an insult? If the reviewer had said to you, 5 stars, it's very MILFy comedy, how would you have reacted to that?
Being sexually objectified rather than sexually negated. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'd like to be... Well, a person I'd like to, a PILF. You'll be fine.
I swear, I was in a spa in Southern Ireland and there was two women. There goes that Father O'Reilly. Jeez, he's a pilf.
So, finally, Susan. What is the word or phrase that you would like?
The phrase I'd like binned is, it's not rocket science. Because, I mean, fundamentally, only one thing is rocket science, and that's rocket science. Everyone knows how to do things in a particular way. So if you said to me, take apart that car, I'd say, no, I can't. And a mechanic would say, it's not rocket science, because they know how to do it. Because we all have our own knowledge and speciality subjects. You know, if we were on Mastermind, we would all have very different things. For me, it would be the television show Prime Suspect starring Helen Mirren, which I know off by heart and often reenact with my cat. That would be my specialist subject. For other people, it might be mechanics. And I think by saying it's not rocket science, you're saying to the other person, you're a bit stupid. And I don't think that's a good way in life to be. If I said to you, I'm a doctor, just because I said I was a doctor.
Hello.
Yes. I do think I am as qualified as a doctor because I watch a lot of Casualty. And I practice being defibbed on my floor. I practice because they don't have, as I understand it, there's no machine. That's the actors having to do it themselves.
Yeah.
So I practice being defibbed.
We'll have a lie up and give us a go at that. How does this work? Here we go.
So there's one, hang on, if I'm right, so there's one, first thing they do is
This is a very strange episode of Dr. Phil.
they have these things called salmons, don't they? That they put one on the heart and one about there, like at right angles.
Yeah.
And so they put paddles there and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear.
This is going to be tricky, audience. You can only choose one by your enthusiasm and love. So first up, we had Paul's The Silent Majority.
The majority were silent.
Many more people appreciated that than you think.
Weirdly, though, doesn't that maybe if they were silent, he would have won.
That's very true. Let's try that again. The Silent Majority.
It's not rocket science.
Is it Phil's Big Bones? Is it Lucy's Mumsy? Or Susan's It's Not Rocket Science? I can tell you that at the end of that, we declare Mr. Phil Dupulis the winner. And our next round is called I'll Get Me Quote, where we give our team some words of wisdom from best-selling celebrity authors. All they got to do is to work out who wrote what. Susan and Phil, you are up first, and here be your quote. I've had jeans that were way too tight. Sometimes I've taken them off in the middle of the street because they hurt so much. That's the quote. Who do we think what wrote that? Was it Kim Kardashian? Paul Hollywood? Joey Essex? Or Russell Brand?
Who's Paul Hollywood?
It's a show about cake that you've not watched.
It's, Paul Hollywood is a bit of eye candy for some in the Great British Bake Off. And do you know who Joey Essex is?
No, I met him. I was on a television show with him. I used to do a pop quiz, and he asked this question. We were talking about beetroot, and he looked at me and went, "Isn't that extinct?" Now, I actually think he fakes being dumb because the boy's a millionaire. I think he's not, university bright, but I think he deliberately says dumb things because they get quoted and people talk about him all the time.
Yes.
And it gives him this weird kind of anti-notoriety. I can hear... He would say it like this, all right? He'd go, I've had jeans that are way too tight. Sometimes I've taken them off in the middle of the street because they hurt so much.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, I know him.
Now, my only experience of Russell Brand was I was booked last minute, I think it's fair to say, to be his tour support. I walked on and someone mistakenly said, ladies and gentlemen, Russell Brand, before I came on. So I walked on to everyone going, oh, it's Russell Brand! It's Russell Brand! Why the fuck is Jimmy Cranky on my stage?
The lady...
Kim Kardashian.
Is a baddie on Star Trek. That
Yes.
much I do. Is that Photoshop or is that actually
No,
her?
that's her arse.
Amazing.
Yeah. When you're normal, you want a smaller arse, and when you're famous, you want a bigger arse. And people pay to have implants in their arse to have bigger arses. I simply sit down a lot. So, I've had jeans that were way too tight. Now, this may just be me, Phil, and you can help me.
Okay.
But I think that sounds like a boy.
Just-
A lady would never take their jeans off in the middle of the street because they were too tight. I think it's probably Joey Essex.
Lucy and Paul, what do we think about this?
Well,
It's not Russell Brand and Joey Essex's fault that they're now seen as political gurus.
Yes.
This is the thing that really disturbed me in the 2015 election, is how people were interviewed who were more famous for being famous than they were for politics.
Well, the last
Like
thing you want to do is just hang around with someone who is famous for being famous, Paul.
ah.
Who's that, Paul?
Oh my God. Is he the one you turn straight?
He looks more pleased than you do to be there.
He looks more brown than I do. That's quite...
So, have we got any thoughts on this?
I think it might be Russell. If anybody's going to feel quite free to talk about taking their jeans off in the street, it's possibly him.
He was probably just getting ready to shag someone.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think we ought to go for Russell Brand to try and nick a point off them.
Yeah.
So, you guys are going for...
Joey Essex.
I can tell you that the correct answer is Joey Essex.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Paul and Lucy, you are next. Here is your quote. I learned how to build a brick wall, operate a lathe, produce hydrogen in the laboratory, do calculus, and to this day I can recite Act 1, Scene 1 of Twelfth Night. But who wrote that? Was it George Michael, Alan Sugar, Cara Delevingne, or Carol Vorderman?
Well, it's not George Michael, because he can't even tie his shoes together without crashing a car into a shop window, so... I don't think he'd make such an outlandish claim as to his abilities in other areas. I don't think Alan Sugar can do calculus. It's quite difficult, and he's not a bright man. He's a powerful man, but he doesn't come across as intellectually powerful.
Sugar can talk and point at the same time. Vorderman, maths and arses. Michael, songs, bad driving. Delevingne, eyebrows, and all the other things.
Hang on a second. Carol Vorderman did maths at university. She wouldn't boast that she could do calculus. She should have been able to do calculus from a very young age. I think it's Cara Delevingne.
Cara, lovely
The
eyebrows.
reason being that supermodels have a reputation for not having any other talents. A reputation based on an analysis of the life of Naomi Campbell. And so she's trying to buck that trend and say, yes, I might be, I think, the second best-earning supermodel in the world behind the Giselle Bündchen, but I have a lot of other talents as well.
I remember having Naomi Campbell on a chat show here in Belfast. It was around the time of the Garvaki Road. And she actually, and her agent actually rang up and said that Naomi wanted a police escort from the airport and police protection while she was in Belfast. And so we forwarded the request to the Chief Constable. And the Chief Constable wrote back and said, if Naomi would like to lead the parade up the Garvaki Road...
Yeah, I'm happy to go with Cara
Shall we try-
Delevingne. I mean, she is an actor. She's a very good actor, and let's go for her.
Yep.
You're going for?
Cara Delevingne.
Cara Delevingne. Guys?
Alan Sugar prides himself on, if you watch The Apprentice, I'll call, you know, I'm just a guy from the streets. That's my impression, thank you, you're very welcome. And so I don't think he would boast about qualifications. He prefers to say, I just work my way up, you know, and so I don't
Bit like
think
Lucy and her old man.
So...
Yes, we're going to go for Carol Vorderman, I think.
Okay, so you're going for the Vorderman, you are going for Cara Delevingne. I can tell you that the correct answer is... Alan Sugar!
Sugar.
Why? Alan Sugar, yeah.
Jeez.
Now, as we know, language can be used for both good and for evil, to inspire and seduce, or to make us buy useless crap from the home shopping channel when we come in, piss from the pub. And in our next round, we ask our teams to abandon the need of truth and embrace the language of advertising to sell us a genuine item.
Okay.
First up, I can... Hang on. Oh, sorry, that was me. I was actually bending under the desk. I was thinking, who's buzzing in now?
What kind of hellish quiz gives the host a buzzer? How egocentric are you? I know. You idiots. And Sugar, you idiot. We'll be here all night.
First up, it is Susan and Phil, and here is your item.
Okay.
There it is.
Wow.
Wow. If you get one right, buzz in, point for each. If you make it right the way through without them predicting any of your words, we'll give you a bonus point. Lucy and Paul writing frantically. Feel free to put your pens down roughly at any time now. And you're done.
Okay.
Over to Phil and Susan.
Thank you,
Thanks
Patrick.
very much.
Oh, he's
love
lovely.
it.
He's lovely, isn't he, Susan?
It's so
We love it when Paddy's on, don't we?
It's so good.
I very much enjoyed Paddy's Dominique week.
It's a very, very special week that we're having because it's items for the young mothers watching, isn't it, Susan?
Yes. You know those awkward moments where your breast is full of milk,
Do I?
but you have not yet spawned the child, and you wish to practice the suckling.
That's right. You can't just suckle a baby without any practice, can you, Susan?
This item allows me to gently insert my nipple into the mouth of this training receptacle.
If you're unfortunate enough to have an inverted nipple, this chimera comes with a delicious set of claws. And so, by revolving it on the breast, it can turn the most inward nipple out in a trice.
We only have two left, and one of them has had my nipple in it. Call us now.
If you like, Susan will sign the back of the one that she's had her nipple in, which would increase the value.
Call us now, okay?
Okay, next it is Paul and Lucy. And here is your item. This is a genuine item.
Beautiful.
That can be purchased on the internet or in the back of the newspaper. As you prepare to give us your best sales pitch, Susan and Phil are writing down the words that they think you will use in the sales pitch.
Okay.
Are you ready, Luce?
Yes, indeed.
Stop writing! Stop! Children!
So many words, right?
Wow! That's a lot of words.
A lot of words.
Here we go.
How have they done that?
And off you go.
Well, as we all know, this nation is becoming increasingly multicultural. And as a result of that, weddings between communities have gone up exponentially. I even read in the Belfast Telegraph of a man from Antrim marrying a woman from Tyrone. That is how multicultural... It is always fantastic when true love blossoms into the celebration of nuptials that is a contemporary wedding. The problem being that you have to have a wedding cake topper that represents both communities. Lucia.
Sì, grazie mille. I am the Italian bride, and I'm married the English man. Yeah, something like I might just drop the accent.
Yeah. As you drop the accent, I'm going to go into my accent. Hello there.
I was worried mine was racist, but
my
this
name
is
is Paul Sinha, and as you can tell from my accent, I am Welsh.
I find that offensive.
But no, seriously, I am obviously what a classic Brit looks like. I have a drink problem, and I'm... Oh!
No! Wow.
And we wanted something on the wedding cake that celebrates both cultures, and it is as simple as that. This is the #1 item for Britalian weddings. Ooh.
Nice.
Britalian, and it's yours for a bargain price. Oh, no!
wow.
Off 40 liras.
It's old money.
You got me? Bile.
No, it's meant to say bike. But I just got overexcited and missed out some letters. Sex toy.
Sex.
Sex toy. Yeah, we can see
Well, you
how
could roll it. You could roll it.
Let's just see how this works.
No.
Wait. Go.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah. Bit more.
It's pretty good.
I think we found a better use for it than a cake decoration, I have to say. And that means that tonight's winners are Susan and Phil. Commiserations, well played to Lucy and to Paul. Before we go, if you think you've used some bad language in your time, remember, it could be a lot worse. With bad language like this. Hi, this is Randy. I saw your penis for sale on Craigslist. Is it still available? If so, I would like to take it for a test drive tonight sometime. Hi, Randy, I'm selling a Prius. Is this what you meant? Yes, apologies. New phone. That's all we got time for. Big thanks to tonight's teams, to Susan Calman, Phil Jupitus, Paul Sinha, and Lucy Porter, and Patrick Keating. Good night.